guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I am Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Collectively we are two of
two.
the Office Blokes, the most elite Office Bloke unit in the United Kingdom.
I would guess so, yeah.
Yep.
Only when there's three of us, though.
I was thinking it was more elite. No.
Ah.
That was the...
With less, it's more elite.
That was the jab.
Less is more.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, whatever. Office Bloke Daz is still at the tail end of having COVID. So, because we're recording it on a Friday, we didn't think it's worth chancing it just yet.
Yeah.
So, back on Monday, back to normal. But me and Mike have been holding down the fort in the meantime.
Let's get ready for Monday.
Is that your mug moving back over?
Yeah.
Nice. So don't worry, Office Bloke Daz is alive and he will be back soon.
Yep.
Right, what is the most elite military unit in the United States?
Ooh, well, don't know. Navy SEALs springs to mind.
Elite sort of says, does elite say
military unit
that there's not as many of them?
I would guess so,
or does elite say just the best of the best? Like, what does it actually mean?
I would say that there's like a group that if they want something doing, certain things, then that's who they call them.
Yeah, so like the SAS over here.
I mean, you've got the SAS, have you got parts of the SAS as well, like a squadron within it?
Oh yeah, because I think with the Navy SEALs, they've got like SEAL. I think SEAL Team 6 was the one that took down Bin Laden.
Right,
but there's multiple teams.
But obviously, it depends if it's land, sea, or air as well, doesn't it? Depending sometimes which one they're going to send in. But
yeah,
I'm assuming within those they have like a squadron or unit that is the very, very best. If it's,
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure how that works, because you'd think that once you achieve a level of that sort of excellency, say to get in the Navy SEALs, that then all SEAL teams would essentially be created equally.
Yeah, I suppose you would think so, yeah.
I think within those teams you have specialists at each of the tasks, but then a team will deploy together, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I just think there might be a best of the best of the best sort of team.
So then you go on from the SEALs to be like I don't know.
Top SEAL, Daddy SEAL. I don't know. But
yeah, fair play.
We'll soon find out, won't we, anyway?
Yeah, let's find out what is the most elite military unit in the United States. Let's do it.
What is the most elite military unit in the United States?
Love it if he just tells us now in the video ends.
And that's it.
No context.
Hello and welcome to the U.S. Military News Channel, where we discuss all things military. As if inter-service rivalries were not enough, within the special operations community there is jockeying for the top spot. Who is toughest? Who is more capable? What training is the hardest to complete? While special operators generally have
the Army one, is it the Rangers in the States?
Possibly.
Because the SEALs are Navy.
Yeah, I've heard of the Rangers, definitely.
Am I making up Delta Force? Is that a real thing?
I think it's a real thing.
It's just one of those things that I don't know if I'm like, I've seen it in a movie and I'm just saying it like it's a thing. Or, you know.
Delta Force are coming.
What training is the hardest to complete? While special operators generally have professional respect for each other, like anything, opinions vary about what is the most elite military unit in the United States. Here's USAM's list of elite military units that might help you decide what the most elite military unit in the US is. Marine Corps Raiders. U.S. Marine Corps Raiders, formed in 1942, provide customized military combat skills training and advisement support for foreign forces. Marines and sailors of the Marine Raider Regiment train, advise, and assist friendly military forces, enabling them to support their nation's security and stability. They work in small teams to eliminate targets. They deploy scalable, expeditionary forces worldwide to accomplish special operations missions. Marine Raiders execute complex operations in uncertain environments, achieving silent success and strategic impact. Marine Corps Force Recon.
I guess what you were saying about the elites within the elites.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that Marines were a thing, but I didn't know that there was all these subsections of Marines.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I guess we go more granular to find out which subsection
Exactly,
is the
yeah.
best
So
of the
it's-
best.
And it's probably for certain exercises as well, or certain only certain operations that they would be deployed for.
Yeah.
So maybe ones have got all the SEALs, but then there's one or two out of each thing that come together because they're the best at a certain thing, and
Yeah.
they make it like another unit up out of them.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The Marine Corps also has Force Recon units, a direct action unit, and their primary responsibility is to collect information in enemy territory by providing intelligence for operations on the battlefield. As part of this force, the Marine Sniper can provide effective harassing fire from a distance, and they're capable of tracking the enemy. But don't be fooled, these Marines conduct raids on high-value targets and can take out the bad guys. Force Recon was formed in 1954. Army Special Forces. Known as the Quiet Professionals, U.S. Army Special Forces, or Green Berets, make a strong argument to answer the question of what is the most elite military unit in the U.S. Formed in 1952 at Fort Bragg by U.S. Army Colonel Aaron Bank, Green Berets have their roots in World War II, when Bank worked in the Office of Strategic Services Organizing, training, and equipping the French resistance. After World War II, Bank saw a need to organize a mobile, adaptable fighting force that could help foreign nations friendly to the United States. Special Forces was born. Training to become a Special Forces soldier, or SF soldier, is done in 6 phases and takes at least a year to complete. Special Forces soldiers are trained to perform several missions in a small team structure. They perform counterinsurgency missions, often deployed to prevent terrorist and insurgent incidents abroad. They respond to terrorist activities and train other nations' militaries in the basics of fighting insurgents. They also perform unconventional warfare activities conducted to enable resistance movements or insurgencies to coerce, disrupt, or overthrow a government or occupying power by operating through or with an underground auxiliary and guerrilla force in a denied area.
You know, in a legit global conflict again, like
Yeah.
if there was a World War III, these are the guys that would be working their absolute bollocks off.
Oh, yeah,
innit?
absolutely. Yeah, as soon as I forgot all about it, as soon as you said Green Berets, I thought, yeah, absolutely right up there, aren't they? They're so well known.
But how many of them are founded during World War II or shortly after World War II because of the need, like you said, to equip the French resistance and things like that?
And the country surrounding the areas where there's been conflict, so they've got like a say in it, because obviously in their interest to supply and train the armed forces in those areas up to their standard. So it saves them doing it, doesn't it? They need countries to be able to defend themselves, which is one of the big parts they play.
Yeah, but these are like behind enemy lines sort of guys.
Oh,
aren't
these
they,
are,
doing
these
recon and everything like
guys
that.
are absolutely fearless. I mean, it's just life and death stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, it's so dangerous.
We've not heard much about special forces in the Ukraine situation, have we? I know a lot of it's kind of cloak and dagger behind closed doors.
I guess a lot would be, but I'm sure that's all going on at the time, isn't it? It's got to be.
I think I'm not sure there'll be American special forces on the ground in the Ukraine, because that'd be
Certainly
an
not
act of war.
It wouldn't be sort of on the table, that would it? You know,
They might be in Poland though. You know,
maybe
like helping training and things.
Again,
like
with
that.
training and stuff like that, I'd guess that there'd be a big part of that. I would guess help train some of the Ukrainian special forces and stuff like that. Well, I'm sure there must be, absolutely, but like I say, I think it'd be done in Poland, I would guess.
It'd have
like
to
that.
be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. SF types conduct direct action missions to seize, capture, recover, or destroy enemy material or recover personnel. One of their better known missions is foreign internal defense, where they train and equip foreign allied military forces. They have also been known to conduct surveillance in hostile, denied, or diplomatically or politically sensitive environments. Lastly, on security force assistance missions, SF soldiers are called upon to train and develop the defense capabilities of friendly and developing nations. But are the Green Berets the answer to what is the most elite military unit in the US? Army Rangers. The US Army Rangers might argue differently. Rangers are the Army's elite light infantry, supporting other special operation forces or conducting direct action raids themselves. It takes about 2 months to complete Ranger School's 3 phases: Benning Phase, Mountain Phase, and Florida Phase. The Rangers got their start long before the start of the Revolutionary War. In the mid-1700s, Captain Benjamin Church and Major Robert Rogers formed Ranger units to fight during the King Philip's War and in the French and Indian War. Rogers wrote 19 standing orders that are still in use today. Rangers can be spotted by their tan berets.
I'd be well out on the first one. That said, don't forget nothing.
I know, let's go back to that. I thought it said that, but it went a little quick.
I'd be screwed, I will, because I'd gone to the second one and would have forgotten the first one.
I love that. Have your musket as clean as a whistle, hatchet scoured.
60 rounds of powder and ball, and be ready to march at a minute's warning.
I mean, it's not the most exciting bit, but I feel like we need to have a quick look over these.
Yeah.
Don't ever take a chance you wouldn't have to. It's pretty... if we strike swamps or soft ground, we spread out, so it's hard to track us. It's pretty commonsensical sort of stuff.
Yeah.
If that's a word.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it is, actually. I think you've just made it up. So we'd have to add that to the dictionary,
I think I maybe did. Don't cross a river by a regular ford. So in other words, like there's a bridge there. Don't just wander across the bridge or whatever. Go in secret. Don't sit down and eat without posting sentries. It's like proper rule book, that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Could do with having a copy of that for the zombie apocalypse when that comes. I think it'd be a good code to live by. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, Rangers can be spotted by their tan berets. Air Force Pararescue. Pararescue men, also known as PJs, live by their motto, that others may live. A lot of other organizations use this motto as well, but it is unique to the PJs, who got their start in 1946 and saw an upstick in missions in Vietnam, where they made their name. PJs are primarily charged with rescuing downed pilots, but they provide advanced life-saving medical attention in a variety of missions. It takes approximately 2 years for an airman to become a fully trained PJ, and while many are trained in scuba, halo, and other special skills, most state that their medical training is the most challenging part of their training. Air Force Combat Controllers. Combat controllers are FAA certified air traffic controllers who manage air traffic in remote and hostile environments. They are inserted behind enemy lines, and they help with target acquisition on the ground, and they provide crucial air support to ground forces. Naturally, they are trained in everything from military freefall parachuting to combat scuba diving, as well as SARE, forward air controlling, and other special tactics. Combat controllers work with all special operations forces like the Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, Delta, etc. They specialize.
These guys seem like the glue that holds everything together a little bit, don't they?
I never realised that like a little sort of like a unit like that.
And the fact that they're air traffic controllers as well as everything else.
It's just like all the gear they had on the helmets, the night vision and things like that.
I've never heard of these guys, but especially being behind enemy lines doing all this stuff.
Something like that. I mean, jobs like that are crucial, aren't they? You've got to have boots on the ground, but stuff like that is, like say,
elite.
It's a bit like the glue that holds it all together, isn't it? So
working with everyone, air control, all that sort of, it's just...
That sort of job is where you've got to be cool, calm and collected as well,
These guys might be the most elite so far. I don't want to disparage anyone. I don't want to upset anyone.
They'll be after you, Dave.
Lies in calling in airstrikes, setting up landing sites, and attacking and converting an enemy airfield into a U.S. airfield. At that point, they work as air traffic controllers. Air Force Tactical Air Control Parties. Tactical Air Control Parties, or TACP, manage close air support. Think A-10 and artillery often behind enemy lines. TACPs usually are assigned or attached to Army units. They are a part of the unit they are assigned to support, and they call in airstrikes and support those units. They are on the ground, fighting alongside with their Army brethren, only they are performing duties as a forward air controller as well. Air Force Special Reconnaissance. The most unique Air Force Special Operators are the folks who wear the gray beret. They definitely could be who comes to mind when someone asks what is the most elite military unit in the US. But again, it depends on who you ask. SR types used to be known as Special Operations Weather Team Airmen, but in 2019, the Air Force announced they would have a new name and mission, and now they are known as the Special Reconnaissance Airmen, and their focus has shifted from specialized weather analysis to multi-domain reconnaissance and surveillance. SR Airmen deploy from airborne, maritime, or land-based platforms deep behind enemy lines to collect and exploit key information, develop targets, and tilt the battle space to favor US forces.
I mean, again, that is absolutely crucial part of the like a war effort, isn't it? Reconnaissance is absolutely right
It's
up there.
everything, isn't it?
Of course it is, because they need to know what they're going to face, don't they? They need to know what equipment to go in with, how many people, whether they've got to get in there by air, by land. It's just all sorts.
Again, sort of the glue that is holding everything
Absolutely,
together, isn't it?
But it's crucial. They need to know what they're up against, don't they? When they've got people, live soldiers going in there, they need to know what's coming back the other way, don't they? So reconnaissance, absolutely right up there.
But do you think people like these get pissed off at the Navy SEALs getting all the credit?
I would guess they do, yeah, because a couple of these I've not heard of before.
I've never heard of them.
But they are like little groups, like say, that get attached to other ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could technically have like a unit like this being attached to the Navy SEALs, I suppose, couldn't you? I don't know. Unless the Navy SEAls would do it themselves, I don't know.
These guys are Air Force, aren't they? So they're separate.
Yeah.
Sort
No,
of
you know what I
wing
mean?
of the military.
Or
the equivalent.
The equivalent sort of thing. I don't know. But
still, it's just some proper elite people there, isn't there?
Yeah.
SR Airmen survey and prepare the battle space to provide global access, air, space, and cyberspace superiority.
Cyberspace as well.
Navy SEALs. The missions of the Navy SEALs, sea, air, land, include direct action warfare, special reconnaissance, counterterrorism, and foreign internal defense. Established in 1962, SEALs are a nimble maritime force designed for unconventional warfare. They conduct insertions and extractions on air, sea, or land to accomplish covert special operations/warfare missions around the world. They capture or kill high-value enemy personnel. They're the guys that put a cap in bin Laden. They collect information and intelligence through special recon. They perform small unit direct actions against military targets. They conduct underwater recon or demolition of man-made and natural obstacles prior to amphibious landings. SEALs are inserted by parachute, submarine, helicopter, high-speed boat, foot patrol, or combat swimming. According to the Navy, it takes about 30 months to become a fully trained SEAL. Do SEAls answer the question of what is the most elite military unit in the US? Army, Delta.
The SEALs are definitely the ones that everyone has heard of.
I think they're up there for me at the moment. Yeah, definitely one everyone's heard of. But like say, sea, air and land do like the full gamut, which is probably why the training's longer than most of the others, I would guess.
They're definitely the ones I'm more familiar with because I listen to people like Jocko Willink, who's an ex-Navy SEAL, David Goggins, who's an ex-Navy SEAL.
And we've seen the video about the Bin Laden shooting as well, haven't we? So obviously knew that they were behind that.
And again, like there used to be a TV show about Buds, wasn't there? Years ago, that was people going through Hell Week, I think it was, and it was like even there was a movie, G.I. Jane. Isn't she trying to be a Navy SEAL?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's
not sure.
It's so long since I saw it. It was like early 90s, I think.
I was going to say it's a long time ago when that was out,
I
wasn't
may
it?
be wrong about that, which I'm wrong quite often.
Well, you're not usually, Dave, are you? Let's face it.
I just talk more than everyone else. That's inevitable. I'm right more than everyone else as well.
Delta Force. Delta Force is not just a Chuck Norris action movie. It is a very real U.S. military special operations unit and likely the military's worst kept secret, although you can be standing next to a Delta operator and never know. Known as the 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, or commonly referred to as Delta Force, Combat Applications Group, the unit, Army Compartment and Element, or Task Force Green, depending who you are, Delta is an elite Army Special Operations Force under the control of Joint Special Operations Command. The unit performs counterterrorism missions, hostage rescues, direct action missions, and special recon. Delta is a Tier 1 unit usually tasked with the most complex, classified, and dangerous missions. Most Delta operators are chosen from Army Special Forces and Army Rangers, but some hail from other Special Ops units. Delta was formed in 1977 by Colonel Charles Beckwith. Although most Delta operators will never be publicly recognized, Master Sergeant Gary Gordon and Sergeant First Class Randy Shugart both earned the Medal of Honor for their actions in the Battle of Mogadishu in 1993. The term operator, when referring to American Special Ops personnel, comes directly from the Army Special Forces. In 1952, 10 years before the SEALs were established and 25 years before Delta was founded, SF was using the term operator. All qualified Special Forces personnel had to agree to the code of the Special Forces operator and sign the pledge. In 2006, the Navy added Special Warfare Operator as a rating, and these days most people in special operations are known as operators. What is the most elite military unit in the US? You be the judge, but in our opinion, all of these folks are the most.
Great lesson in diplomacy there.
Great lesson in fence sitting there, I would guess.
I mean, like you said,
it would be difficult to pick, wouldn't it? Because a lot of them do slightly different operations and stuff, don't they? But
Delta Force are cherry picked from the Special Forces.
yeah,
So all of these groups that they've already just talked about, potentially you could move on from there to Delta
and
Force.
yeah, absolutely.
So it seems like they are the guys that you're already the best of the best, and then they look at the best of the best and say,
think,
right,
we'll have that one, that one.
yeah. So
okay.
The way that was portrayed made it seem like Delta Force.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you could be a SEAL by the sounds of it, and then move to Delta Force.
Then Delta Force would pick you for probably certain operations, I would guess.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know.
Some proper legit
some badass
people
guys
there.
there. I mean, you can imagine being one of those. Gee.
Yeah.
You don't want them coming after you anyway, do you?
No.
Not if you can help it.
Well, that's the other thing as well. They sort of alluded to Delta Force as being the more secretive. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're up to.
Yeah.
Which that kind of is the one where you're thinking,
Yeah, that's the baddest of the bad.
yeah, but all of them, every single one of them.
Oh, hats off to all of them. So much respect for guys like that. I mean, anybody in the army, but then these special units as well. They're just the best of the best, aren't they?
Next
They really
level.
are.
Next level people.
Just unbelievable.
Nice. So let us know in the comment section which one you thought is the most elite, if you agree or disagree.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again soon, guys. Cheers.